Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk AMC stock and inflation. We were correct. Again, inflation came in lower than expectations, quite dramatically lower than expectations. And there's a couple things happening with AMC stock today that you need to know. So let's go ahead and get straight into all of this information. Post your opinions on this situation as well down below in the comment section, and what you think is about to happen for AMC. Now, obviously, we're waiting for this court situation to get wrapped up. We're waiting for the ruling from the judge, in which we're not going to have any warning to this. So just one day you're going to wake up and AMC is going to move big. Now, there's two different opinions here, and I think there is clearly the winning thesis. And although, like I've said many times, this is going to be a bearish event initially, people are going to maybe hedge funds, institutions, you might get a slight drop off of this. That wouldn't surprise me when the judge makes her final decision, but it's pretty clear that raising billions of dollars, no matter which way you put it, is a massive positive for AMC. So I would be very, very surprised if the Moass did not happen after that. Now, we've talked about it many times, so I don't want to focus on it all too much, but I want your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Now, inflation, it rose just 0.2% in June, less than expected as consumers get a break from price increases. The consumer price index rose 0.2% in June and was up 3% from a year ago, the lowest level since March of 2021. So my estimate was for a 0.2% month-over-month reading and a 2.9% year-over-year reading. So this still came in lower than expectations. Expectation was around 3.1%, but I was slightly off there. Now, excluding food and energy, core CPI increased 0.2% and 4.8%. 4.8% respectively. I expected core to come in month over month at 0.2%, and I expected year over year to be 4.9%. So this was actually better than all the estimates that I had compiled myself. So you're definitely seeing a positive impact of inflation coming down. If you look at this on the chart, they are both trending down pretty nicely here. Now, this is important for the broad markets, and you can see the markets are up today. The Nasdaq is up almost 1.5%, S&P up 1%, Russell 2000 up 1.29%, and the Dow is up 0.85%. But actually, the biggest event that we're going to see in the next couple of weeks is going to be earnings. Now, earnings could be pretty rough, could be pretty bad, and if that's the case, well, that's probably going to be the thing that collapse the markets, okay? And that could just overall, right? Think about this in context in the bigger picture. If the markets do fall, well, AMC would not be immune to that more than likely. It could be, but it probably wouldn't be. So, really good data today on inflation. Now, maybe we would have expected to see a bigger move in AMC stock than what we're actually seeing today. AMC is kind of flat on the day, up 0.11%, alongside some of your other small cap names as well. You're really seeing the big tech names seeing the largest benefit from this. Apple is up 1%. Microsoft is up 2.5%. That's really what is causing this outsized move in the Nasdaq today. It's some of these names. Microsoft is over 12% of the Nasdaq, almost 13% of the Nasdaq. Apple is 12.5% of the Nasdaq. We're going to see that special portfolio rebalancing from the Nasdaq here shortly on May 2nd. So that's going to be important, and that is potentially a very negative catalyst as well. Now, let's get into what's going on with AMC stock as of right now. So we have this article from Real Money. It says, wake up AMC investors, the action in the ape ruling is about to hit. It goes on to say, about the fundamental case. It said, says the arbitrage opportunity has a high degree of speculation since it relies on the vagaries of a court decision. The opportunity in 8 makes for a worthwhile risk/reward, and they're basically reiterating this bearish thesis again, and that's a point that I've been trying to make, is that everyone is so negative in AMC, they don't see what's currently happening, right? And that's easy to do. Just look at the put to call ratio and where it is right now. Do you really want to be betting against AMC right now? I mean, if you're any kind of experienced trader, then you might say, yeah, you want to follow the momentum, you want to follow the trend. But in regards to AMC specifically, whenever people are all betting against the stock, it tends to go the opposite direction, right? What happened before every big rally we've seen in the past? The put to call ratio goes up, and then you see a rally, right? Put to call ratio went up in January of 2021. Boom, you rally. Same thing back here in June. Put to call ratio went up, you rallied. Well, even down here, put to call ratio goes up, you rally. Same story over and over again, right? And that's probably not going to be any different this time around, considering put to call ratios are at all-time highs. Now, people fail to realize they just look at the reverse split, they look at the potential dilution as the sole thing that's going to affect AMC, but they don't want to acknowledge what raising billions of dollars of capital will do for the stock. And I think that is a flawed thesis. To think about the bearish but not think about the bullish, not think about the positive as well, is definitely a flawed mentality to have. Now, another big story of the day today, again, the option activity continues to be a negative downward factor on AMC stock. Look at some of these trades: a $3 million trade, $2 million, $2 million trade, like millions of dollars worth of trades again on AMC stock today. That just shows the level of incompetency that you're seeing from some of these hedge funds and institutions that are buying these orders when they're about to get smacked in the face when the judge actually does make her ruling. But nonetheless, that is happening, and that is helping to push AMC stock down here on the day today. Now, if we get into some of the other data that you need to know, like the short score sitting at 95, this is the highest that you have ever seen in AMC's history. You've never seen a short score of 95, and that is because really the days to cover is almost at 10. It's sitting at 9.87, which is up 95.5% in the last 3 months. You're seeing 510 million worth of these short positions. Estimated short interest of free float sitting at 22.5%. Free float out on loan at 34.5%. Shares out on loan 177.85 million. Again, cost days to cover at almost 10. Cost to borrow trailing 3-month average at 241%. And almost 100% share utilization, sitting at about 99% utilization as of right now. If we take a look at the cost to borrow fees, we're getting an update from Interactive Brokers. This one's funny. Two shares available from Interactive Brokers with a cost to borrow fee of 974.92%. These numbers are absolutely ridiculous. So on top of everything else that we've talked about here, you also have cost to borrow fees that are 1,000% or more, just depending on what brokerage you are trying to make your position with. That sounds like a fool's game. Now, AMC stock is currently on the threshold securities list. You have a live short interest of 22.47% and 116 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost to borrow average sitting at 892.76%. Cost to borrow max 1,060%. Cost to borrow minimum sitting at 8.27%. So cost to borrow fees are out of this world still, and that is certain. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at something else that I have been watching quite closely, it is the option activity for this week. Now, wouldn't surprise me if the ruling from Morgan comes next week. I'm hoping it comes at some point this week. We're running through the week, so we're going to have tomorrow and Friday. Jeez. But The option activity has definitely increased so far for this week. You're looking at about 16,000 calls in the money, 151,000 calls out the money, 94,000 puts in the money, and 127,000 puts that are out of the money. So you've seen the calls kind of take over for out the money, and the in the money calls versus in the money puts is still very low. So long story short, if you do start to get more option buyers that come in and buy some of these weekly options, that can have a very bullish or very bearish impact on the price of AMC. And that's what you've seen consistently with these hedge funds and institutions. They're going out 1 or 2 weeks to buy these $10 million trades, these $5 million trades. That's having a very negative kind of synthetic shorting type process or effect, I should say, on AMC stock. So watch to see if this does move around. Obviously, once we get the ruling from the judge, that's where things are really going to change. Now, as far as the 13F filings that are starting to come out as well, a lot of them are pretty dang bullish. You're seeing some brand new positions being opened, as you can see highlighted in green, and a lot of people that are adding to some of their positions. A big short position right here as well, 56,000 short shares from Wise Alternative Balanced Risk Fund. Yeah, sounds pretty balanced on the risk there, buddy. So yeah, you are seeing quite a bit of adding from funds, and really some funds not changing their overall positions too much. These funds right here highlighted in blue have not changed their positioning in AMC at all in the last quarter, guys. So there you have that. As far as tomorrow in the markets, you're going to get PPI month over month. This is the producer side of inflation. You're expecting this to come in at 0.2%. Last month's rating was negative 0.3%. You're also going to get core PPI as well as initial jobless claims. You're expecting those to come in at 250,000, and Fed Waller that speaks tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. But that is your lineup for tomorrow as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will keep you updated on anything that happens throughout the rest of the day today. Everything you need to know, will bring you that information, but that's what I have for you guys as of right now. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.